Is it too much to ask? Guys, is it too much to ask that people use a little bit of imagination and excitement to come up with something to wow your audience? I don't understand why it's so hard, why it's so freaking difficult to deliver something that practically writes itself. Boba Fett, bounty hunter, badass, action, adventure, excitement, go. No, that's not what we got. The Book of Boba Fett, guys. The Book of Boba Fett. There were no books in this episode, but listen, let's talk about it. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And yes, as advertised, I am going to talk about my first impressions of the Book of Boba Fett, which just premiered, just got through watching it. And listen, guys, I actually wasn't going to do a video on this because to me, like, fuck Star Wars, fuck Disney Star Wars, you know, that's how I feel. That's where I am. I mean, there's just no words that I can put together that can tell you how much I really don't care about what these people are doing with Star Wars at this point. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is that it's a weird thing. It's like we're caught in a trap. We can't walk out because we love Star Wars, baby. But why can't they see what they're doing to me and you when they just don't care what they give us? You know what I mean? They're not committed to this at all. But yes, we are caught in a trap because we do love Star Wars. And that means that no matter how much we resent it, no matter how much they don't deliver, we always keep coming back because we have hope. After all, that's what Star Wars stands for. Hope, a new hope. That's what appeals to us. So we keep hoping and wishing and praying that these people get it right. But time after time after time, we are underwhelmed. Now, what did I see in the Book of Boba Fett? Well, it wasn't a whole lot of anything, really. You know, for some reason, they decided to show us a little bit of young Boba, like what we saw in Attack of the Clones. His dad got his head cut off. He's looking at the helmet. You know, he's reminiscing basically from the Bacta tank or whatever it's called, the healing, the bathtub or sauna, whatever, you know, the jacuzzi that they put him in to heal. And while he's hooked up to the tubes and all that stuff, he is reminiscing about the things that we saw in previous movies. All right, so it goes on from there. And let me see, because I think I got a couple of notes here. All right, so it's like, first of all, it's like, why are they wasting our time? Because we already saw all this stuff. Anyone who's watching the Book of Boba Fett series is probably an older fan, you know, who wants to see more of this character for some reason. That was never me, you know, when I was growing up. He was a cool character in Empire Strikes Back. Never wanted to know more about him. You know, every time you see a scene stealer in the movies, you don't need to get a whole backstory because you worked it out in your mind. You know that he's a badass. You know that he's probably run down a bunch of people. He's gotten a bunch of bounties. He's killed a bunch of people. That's all you really need to know. I don't need to know where he came from. I don't need to know where he went or where he was going. He could have stayed being digested in the Sarlacc pit. That would have been fine with me. But this one here, this picks up with him inside of the Sarlacc pit. And of course, he burns his way out of it, you know, with the flamethrower and everything. So you see him get up out of the sand and everything and woohoo, whoopee-doo. You know, very exciting. All right. So he's weak and he's knocked out and he comes across some Jawas. They're all of about 2 foot, nothing. And they knock him the hell out. Okay, so this is big, bad Boba Fett getting knocked out by some little midgets, you know, Jawas. So, you know, he's being drugged through the desert, you know, like he's freaking Judah Ben-Hur or something, right? By sand people now, because he's come across the sand people. So we have to listen to about 20, 25 minutes of like, seriously, bruh. That's your idea of dialogue? They get more to say than anybody else. You can't understand what the fuck they're saying for something like 25 minutes. Boba, all he gets to say is something like, I intend to rule with respect, not fear. And that's pretty much the extent of his dialogue. The rest of it, okay. So anyway, that's Like there's nothing more. Like there's nothing to this. And I think I listen, I'm a hard worker. I must work something like 12, 14 hours a day. You know what I mean? It's like my entertainment has got to keep me occupied. It's got to keep my attention. I swear to God, man, if this, what was this first episode? Something like 40 minutes maybe, if even that much. And I fell asleep like 3 times watching this. I'm a hardworking man. It's like you got to come out and grab me. You got to pull me in. And this did not pull me in. This is Star Wars, y'all. Like Star Wars is supposed to be the pinnacle, the apex of entertainment and excitement. And I think what these people are missing is that George Lucas said many times that his ideas for Star Wars and Indiana Jones, his inspiration were the Saturday morning serials, when he was growing up. Things like Buck Rogers and, Pirate Tales or whatever, back then. And they kind of these days have lost that focus, that this is what you're supposed to be shooting for, telling the most story in like 30 minutes. Boom, go. Or if it's a movie, you have each section to seem like, there's a lot going on and you want to keep going on because it keeps pulling you in. That was, I think, the appeal of the Saturday morning serials. It's like there were cliffhangers, there were, predicaments that our heroes would find themselves in. And you wanted to see more of them, but it was fun. There was no fun in this. You know what I mean? Like, what else did I have here? Oh yeah, what was up with the Sand People when they came up upon him, Boba Fett, and you hear this, I was like, yo, is he on Tatooine or Wakanda? It was weird because they're like so tribal, and you can tell they have their tribal ways and everything. And it was a weird way that it all went down, guys. It didn't feel like Star Wars to me. This first episode, like I said, who knows what's coming? But I was very, very underwhelmed by what I saw. And let's see here. The music was corny. The guy, whoever's composing this, Ludwig Göransson or something, Ludwig. It's like, bro, you need to be studying the masters. You need to study John Williams. The writers need to study George Lucas. It's like nobody is. There was just nothing to keep my attention here. There's nothing that wants me to come back. Like I said, the only thing that brings us in is the fact that we are Star Wars fans, and Star Wars fans is kind of like watching a train wreck. You can't turn away. But I don't see how this is going to get new viewers. There was nothing in this first episode. It was a big nothing burger, man. It was empty. Why? You're dealing with Star Wars here. You should be able to just blow the hell up and go whichever way that you want to go. Let your imagination run wild and be free. But no. That's not what we got. And let me see what else is here. There's pretty much nothing more to it. Like I said, he is the boss of the criminal underworld. That's not exciting at all. You didn't see him be intimidating to anybody. It was just some bullshit, man. My understanding is that Boba Fett is supposed to be a badass, at least. I saw no badassery here, guys. You know what I mean? So from Episode 1, The Mandalorian piqued my interest. This one, there were no memorable lines, unless you count, but, I mean, you can't put that on a t-shirt. But anyway, guys, there it is, man. I don't even know. I was not impressed. You know what I mean? I was bored as hell. There was nothing really exciting going on. They tried to have themselves a little bit of action sequence. And the only time, by the way, they wore helmets is when it was time for the stuntmen to take over. That's the only time. He kept taking his helmet off. The Jawas took his helmet off and put, I think it was someone put money in his helmet, and when they showed the inside of the helmet, it looked like it was cardboard on the inside. I mean, it was just terrible, guys. Where's the vision? Robert Rodriguez, I'm disappointed in you. You got to show me something. Usually he's like, I love the way he does his action sequences, and he infuses humor in it. He's got his own way. I hate to think that Kathleen Kennedy cut your balls off, bro, but this is how it feels to me. But anyway, guys, have you seen it? Have you seen the Book of Boba Fett? If you have, let me know. And please don't get in the comment section talking about it's just the first episode. We got to see where it goes. I told you. I understand that it's the first episode. I'm talking about the first episode. I'm not talking about anything else. It could go this way, that way, up, down, whatever. But I'm just talking about this episode right here. Did nothing for me. Okay, so if it did something for you, tell me what you appreciated about this episode. Visually, there was nothing even exciting going on. Like, seriously, bruh. But anyway, get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And you can catch me on Twitter. You can catch me on Odyssey. You can catch me on Rumble. I'm all over the place, guys. Until then, I'll see you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. Jesus, man.